And then he ended up with, 5 of us at his doorstep. So he just didn't know what to do. And he was like, kind of thinking, maybe we should be looking at that. I was like, oops.
But then they were so young, and what were they escaping from?
Well, they escaped from what we, they escaped from where we were, But they were, my mom was 16, 17, my dad early 20s, And amazing. I used to hate him because he kind of was scary. His eyes, had this mystery in his eyes. You saw him in the film. He did agriculture. He was brought to America to teach the people how to plant.
Your dad?
Yeah.
He was a boxer as well.
And he did amateur boxing. You don't want him to hit you. You just see stars if he hits you. So he was not a violent person. But it's funny, it must be, they didn't do boxing, and he was the more, violent one in his way.
Sadistic.
Yeah. And I think just before he was going to commit suicide, my dad, he had a calling. Something about being in the subway in New York and something telling him to jump. It's not in the film, but we have these stories, when we're together. He would jump, and then he said he got the calling, to become a preacher.
Wow.
Yeah.
How old was he when that happened?
Early 20s, mid-20s, maybe. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I'm bad at the math.
He would have been early 20s, and it was certainly his experience of being saved was a huge moment in your dad's life, wasn't it?
And my brother is complete opposite.
How so?
He's on the edge. If you go to Noel Tidber's film that you did, it's called Hoover Street Revival, I only go to his churches. He really doesn't preach anymore. I hate preaching, actually. He teaches, he educates you about everything that's happening around you. And somehow connects it to the scriptures, to the book. But he brings it in very modern ways, and throws it at you forward, into the time we are now, because there's no way you can have a religion that was so old, but as long as it's old, it's wise, but it still has to do with something that goes on forever. There's like an eternity in everything that he talks about when you go to his church, because that's only, I just go, I don't go for the choir. We used to go for the choir and the music, and then when the preacher comes on, you slowly leave. Tiptoeing out the back door, And with him, it's the opposite. I let the fanfare go on, and I go to hear what he has to say, Yeah,
that was
these two together, when you see her and my brother together, you can't pull them apart. It's like your brains just mesh, and it gets very intellectual. You have to go to the dictionary after you guys have finished talking.
But that was my experience actually when I went to his church, was because I went to hear great gospel music. And we drove away, me and my boyfriend at the time, going, the choirs were great, but the preacher, he was quoting Paul Tillich, who was an existential theologian, and also Rollo May, and various, psychoanalytical people. He was quoting in the middle of Compton. And the extraordinary, and so that was just amazing, he was immediately riveting of what he was saying and how he was exploring ideas. And funnily enough, actually, I then was able to give him a handwritten sermon by Paul Tillich. That I met a lady I'd known who'd worked in the UN, then she ended up living in the west coast of Ireland, where I grew up as a child, and she and her husband, I think they might have been American spies originally, but then they gave it up and they started a self-sufficiency kind of life in the west of Ireland. And then I went back and I said to her, I'm making this film, and she said, I was a Poltonic student. Here, give this to your preacher friend. It's called the Yes-No Sermon.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
I was telling him to stop saying yes and say more no.
So we have only a couple more minutes, and this being the Film Society of Lincoln Center, I wanted to end with short questions for you both that touch upon the breadth of your movie career. First, Sophie, what are the differences and similarities of making films with Slava Zizek and Grace Jones?
What are the differences and similarities? Well, God, that's really hard for me to kind of answer succinctly. I did stumble on an answer to a similar question, but I can't remember what I came up with then. But,
Let it out.
well, you know, Slavoj is pathologically punctual. And Grace
I got here before you did 2 minutes.
That's because in this city, you're lucky if you spend the whole time pulled up to the bumper. You can't move.
That's New York. I better get out and walk.
It wasn't raining.
Miss Jones, one for you now. Last night during the Times Talk, you revealed one great creative regret, which was passing on a film.
Yeah.
Do you mind repeating what that is and talking a little bit about that decision?
Okay,
Yes,
Ridley Scott sent me a script to do Blade Runner, the original Blade Runner, yeah. And, you know, sometimes falling in love is falling. You know, I don't want to fall in love anymore, because I was so in love with Jean Paul, falling in love with Jean Paul, and I didn't realize they were competing with each other. And he basically talked to me